Hi there, welcome to my build of Voodoo 6, a really exciting balsa flying wing. Now you can see it's finished now, or at least the construction's finished. I've got the spacer for the booms here and the elevator. Now in this video I'm going to be doing the covering and getting it completely finished so I can start fitting it out with the electronics and fitting the ailerons and the elevator. Now, thinking about the colour scheme, if you saw the very first video, hopefully you did, where I was describing the build, and I quoted or read a sentence out from the original article that came with these free plans in RCM magazine, and what it said was, if you still need the underside of your plane to look a different colour to the top side, then maybe this isn't for you. Well, and that's what really drew me to it. They were talking about the performance and just how wicked this wing flies. Well, when I'm flying, I need all the help I can get. So I'm going to do the underside different to the top side, and I'll just run you through what I'm going to do. I'm going to be using 3 different colours. So we've got a nice cadmium yellow, a cream, and I think this is called Ferrari red, and then we've got some black. Now these are all Litex and I got them from the World Models, very reasonably priced. If you're interested in a review and a link to the site and I think the data sheet, then have a look in the description below this video and I'll provide some links to give you some more information about that. Now the colour scheme I'm going to be doing, to start with, I'm going to be doing the tail booms black. The jury's still out on the elevator and this spacer. I'm not sure. I'm going to get it finished and then see how I feel. But the booms I'm going to do first, and black. Now the underside of the wing I am going to be doing completely red right the way across in this Ferrari red. So nice and dark, see it against the sky. On the top side I'm going to have a red band along the top, and that is going to sweep down to the ailerons here. So that's going to be red along and then sweep down. A nice curve. And then I'm going to have a cream band that runs all the way along on the edge of that red, and then I'm going to have the rest of it yellow. I will start with the yellow first. I've made some templates, I'll show you in a minute. But I'm going to start with the yellow and I'll put that on. I will then put on a cream band and then I'll put on the red. And if I do it in that order, we put the yellow and then I'll put the cream on, the joint, as with the red, the joints will be overlapping this way and they will be downwind of the airflow when it's flying. So it'll be a lot more secure, not only from being ripped off by the airflow, but also from the ingress of any oil or fuel. So that's going to be the basic design. The front here, I'm just going to leave that, I think, just as balsa. It's been fuel proofed. Now I've made some templates. I basically did a piece of, this is actually off a roll of lining wallpaper. I find it quite useful for this kind of thing. It's quite thick, it's cheap. I got a piece which essentially is the same size as the wing with the aileron, and I've drawn out the shape I want on that, and we can now see I'm going to, comes to there because that's the aileron. That is going to be my template for the yellow, which I can put on. On top of that I can then put a band of cream, and then I've got my template, which is the other half, which will end up being the red, and then of course that will carry on across the front. That's the plan. So I think we'll get on now, we'll get this on the bench, we'll get set up. Now as far as just one last thing, the tools I'm using, I'm going to be using my Prolux digital iron. I haven't got it at hand, but you'll see it in the covering. And if you're interested in a review, have a look below in the description and there'll be a link to a review I did of the iron. I'm also going to be using my two Swan Morton scalpels, the other one's over here, and these on a number 3 and a number 4 handle, and I'm going to be using a number 11 blade on the 3 handle. It's quite a long blade, so it's really nice for cutting film, and then a bigger blade which is a 26. Don't know how much I'll use that one. And I've got a lovely nice big straight edge for cutting the film. So let me get this on the bench now and we'll start covering it. Well, as you can see from this, I've already done one of the tail booms, and I've done that both sides. Before doing that, I actually did these corner pieces here, so that, and I've done it there, and I've done it in the colour that this is going to be, this whole surface, which is red, so that I can just cover up to the boom. And with that in place, when I do the boom, I can just cover up to the wing. I don't have to worry about the corners, and it's a lot easier just to put little pieces on like that. And I've also done that with the yellow, because this is going to be predominantly yellow with red at the front, and again I've done the corners, and it's really fiddly doing these little bits, so it's nice to just get them done, and then I can worry about or concentrate on doing the covering. Right, well, as you can see, it's more or less finished. It's just a couple of little jobs to do, which I'll get to in a minute. But we can see the colour scheme here. We've got the lovely cadmium yellow, I think it is, cream, and then the red. And I'm really pleased with the way that's gone on. I've got a slight crinkle here, which I would have rather not had, but I think that's where it's just moved a little bit, the join between the two films. I've done the tail booms, as I said, in black, and we still need to have the spacer to go there. Got the spacer done in black, and you can see I've done the yellow and red on the elevator. So that'll just fit in there like that. Now the underside, red on the elevator and totally red on the underside. So, and I'm not going to add anything to that. And you can see I've got all the hatches done, which I'm really pleased with. They've gone really nice. I was a bit worried they were a bit flimsy when it was just the balsa, but having put the covering on, it's just given it a little bit of strength, which I'm quite pleased about. Now I've also done the covers for covers for this and the servo trays, which will go into the wing there. They just screw in with some servo screws. One of the things I've done with that, you can see on this one, if I just bring them closer, hopefully that's in focus, there's a black edge. I've just used the Sharpie to colour the plywood that's showing once you cut the film out, just to darken that, to make it black. And you can see on this one I haven't done, you can still see the light wood there, and I think just having it dark like that will just make a little bit of a difference when you see it. You probably won't notice it, but if it's pointed out anyway. So I've got one thing I have got to do is the ailerons. Now you can see here I've got the hinges in, my mylar hinges, and now is a really good time before I cover these to put the hinges in here and to line them up so I can reacquaint myself with the slots, which I've done, and I've put the hinges in. Haven't CA'd them yet, but I'll do that shortly. And so, as I said, now I've just got to cover the ailerons, and then I'm finished. The other thing I did, which I'm quite pleased about, the snakes that I use, this is a new one I haven't touched, that I've used for the control linkage down to the elevator, are normally this white colour. And with having the black booms, I kind of thought really it's going to look a bit of a mess, the white on there. So I've managed to cover the outer white sheath with some black film, exactly the same film as here. So now when that's fastened onto there, it won't show up. So I'm quite pleased about that, and that was really easy to do. I mean, these outer sheaths have a natural bend to them, and so what I did is I put some music wire down to straighten it out, cut a thin strip, rolled it on the bench, and just gently and carefully stuck the film down, and then rolled it on the bench and just rolled it round, and that did a really good job. I was quite pleased with that. There is the odd wrinkle in it, but it's fine. It's very small wrinkles, to be honest. So I hope you've enjoyed watching that. I hope the high-speed film is of use. It didn't go too fast. I'm always conscious of time with these videos, and I haven't filmed everything. I've just kind of pulled out what I could, and if there's bits you can't see which you'd have rather seen, I apologise for that, but it's just trying to fit everything in, really. Now I have got some decal printed for this, which is going to go on the wings, but you'll have to wait until the next video when we take a look at the final plane or final wing pulled together with everything fitted and the decal. And I'm quite pleased with how that's going to look, or hopefully how that's going to look. So please subscribe if you haven't already, and please come back and see how we get on with this final assembly of the wing.